Alright, I believe we're live now. What's going on, everyone? Today's a little bit of an odd stream. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which is just to work on a project that isn't the Radio Rush thing or FNF or whatever it's called now, and just do something for fun, man. We're going to go do some C today. I want to go back to working on the C project. And honestly, man, I'm not going to work on Rivendun. I mean, maybe I might, but I think I want to just try doing some little C project and see where it takes us for like an hour or two. It's not a projector, it's a green screen. Back to your roots. Yeah, I miss me doing some C. The game's been coming along very nicely, and there's a lot of work that's just non-technical. It's me doing assets and stuff in the background, and as much as I like streaming that stuff, I don't know, for me, making assets, I actually enjoy doing it off stream. It lets my imagination run a little bit more wild. So yeah, today I just feel like I really want to do some C. I haven't done it in a while, and yeah, I need to go back, man. I need to go back to me roots. So let's close down everything here. No Blender, none of this, none of that, none of this or this. Yes, let me get the. Yeah, close this. Boop, boop. Yes, we're gonna kill this. No Rider today. We're gonna be working in just Vim and GCC and GDB. I think partially why I want to work on this is also because I feel like I'm losing some C knowledge. And I pick it up pretty quick when I do go back to it, but I just rather not lose it, you know? That's just what I rather not do, so. We're gonna go to projects, and we're gonna see if we can do something. Do you still talk to yourself when you're making assets for yourself? No, I don't actually talk to myself. I think the only time I really talk to myself is when I'm really stuck through something and I need to walk through it and not like spade through steps 2 to 5. No, to ensure that I actually go step by step, I have to narrate what's going on, but that's very rare. Usually when I'm stuck, I actually just take a nap and I figure something out during that. Like a quick 20-minute nap or something. Usually when I make assets, it's I don't speak at all. Maybe I'll have something in the background, but it's a nice way of just unwinding, letting my imagination run. And when I say letting my imagination run, it's like my brain makes up little stories about different parts of the art I'm making. And I think for a lot of the creatives, not necessarily programming isn't creative, but I think for a lot of the music and the art stuff I do, I end up making these little micro stories in my brain about what's going on there. And maybe it might connect to even things I'm going through or you know, thinking about. So it's kind of a way of processing stuff. But yeah, it's a very different thing. That's why I kind of enjoyed spending this past week doing assets, because I haven't done that in a long time, so I might stream doing art or music again, but at the same time, I think there's something very special about having that time for myself. What's going on, Kate? Yeah, late night. Yeah, I was working super late today. Not because I was being forced to or anything. I just really wanted to get to the root cause of a bug I was dealing with, and I ended up just staying late to like 10, I think, or 10:30 working on that, and I finally found it. So I'm treating myself by doing some C today, some C coding on something that's different. I think I'm gonna work on the ASCII game engine idea. Maybe I should work on my game engine. There's a need for it, but that's not C. I want to do C stuff specifically. I don't know what we're gonna call this. Is it gonna be ASCII game or something? ASCII quest? I don't know, we can rename it later. Oh yeah, dash. Oh, I have a couple, don't I? There we go. Queso builds. So the reason I'm copying that project instead of starting fresh is that for Rivendun, there's a lot of things I'm probably going to use. I love the whole buffer system we have going on and the basic interactable stuff, so I'm probably going to gut all the application specific things and just leave the text buffer stuff, the ASCII stuff. Who knows, maybe today we'll do some AVX instructions or something. Try actually learn how to use intrinsics. That's cute. What kind of stories, I wonder? It's very contextual. It's something that I don't keep in mind. Also, what's up, Mr. Cure? Are you working on a game tonight? Maybe. Also, it's always good to see you, Kate. Yep, scheduled but extended by 1.5 hours for this week. What's going on, Terrell? Just in, checks watch, time. Oh no, not time. The ever-ticking thing. I hate C, just use Java. Nah, you just haven't learned it, man. You haven't you haven't grown to enjoy the simplicity of the language. I do basically Java. It's C#, it's Microsoft Java. I do that a bunch. It's funny though for work, because I've been forcing C# to be like C. Like, I've been doing a bunch of unsafe stuff in C, or in C#, and running across some oddities. Like, languages are fine usually, but then when you start doing very weird stuff with it is when you start running across some odd issues with it. But nothing beats just working in C. Different personal project for tonight. Yeah, we're just doing something different. RMRF, disgusting food recipes. Chase. That's hilarious. Yeah, don't forget to remove the French language pack, guys. Who needs memory management when you can just do it yourself? I mean, when you're writing high performance stuff, you kind of have to. Like, you know, maybe not everything should be heap allocated. Maybe sometimes you should stack allocate things and keep things contiguous in memory. You know, crazy thought, I know, but like, sometimes you need a bypass. Sometimes it's good to just write native stuff and not have any memory management going on. Who needs memory management? Yeah. Any tips on learning C? Any tips on learning C? C, ooh. I mean, it really depends. I mean, C as a language is kind of simple. As long as you're just doing regular software for, it's weird. It's like, there's so many things that can go wrong at the same time. It's like a really simple language compared to everything else. You're gonna be focusing on, like, I don't even know, man. Like, what's the tips and tricks for C? I guess I can't really give much recommendations because I'm also still kind of learning C. Just because we can do pointers and stuff like that doesn't mean that I know how to use stir length or stir copy in a way that doesn't create massive vulnerabilities for my applications. I love Rivendun, and I'm happy to have it like available online, but also like I haven't really done much auditing on this, so I'm pretty sure I'm doing some weird stuff with strings that it's probably a vulnerability. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, you're not going to be doing object oriented in C, or you can kind of reinvent it in a bunch of different ways. Yeah, you're going to be thinking about things as like functional decomposition, like breaking down the applications, the flow of your application into functions and like state machines and stuff like that for management. Is because it's so simple, you have to manually do way more. Thus, you have to learn more about how your computer works. That's true, exactly. Honestly, and that's how you end up like writing a bunch of either utilities or getting utilities from somewhere else. Yeah, like file management's the whole thing, but okay, what are we gonna do? There's stuff I need to probably get rid of. Let's go. No, not CS. I'm so used to C#. Yeah, there we go. So we have a bunch of stuff here. We're not going to do a command-driven thing, so I'm probably going to get rid of our command stack. I mean, it was kind of cool that we had it going on, though. We finally got our command stack working and undo, redo, and all that stuff happening. So that's pretty rad. Text box. I need to figure out what stuff is specific to the Rivendun. I think it's just the application. Like I should be able to just get rid of that and. Board view, that's not a relevant thing anymore. Buffer is very much relevant. Our build and build asand stuff. Commands, we're going to get rid of view. Oh, these are projects. I was like, what? Why do we have Cozy Engine stuff in here? Oh yeah, because that's the project. That's the actual. That's the project files. That's not the actual engine. I mean, that's what we have Git though, right? So we can delete stuff willy-nilly, not care. Also, what's going on, Dat? How much Linux do you know, respectfully? I'm just starting off, and to be honest, I love the terminal, and I find it fun and low-key dopamine hits, especially when you don't crash your system or Vim. How much about this is my, yeah. I mean, like, no one knows. I don't know. Like, there's no way to know, the OS. Like, there's a lot of things I don't know. I know very little. I think I just know enough to do the things I want to do, right? But it's not really Linux specific stuff, but rather like specific apps on it. Like Ranger, Vim, i3, and configuring that. There's some more general stuff like that, like X11. There's X11 things you have to be aware of if you're using it, and you have to deal with. But yeah, I haven't gone out to learn Linux. Rather, there's things I want to do with my operating system, so I end up having to learn things about it as I go, in order to achieve the dopamine you were talking about. I'm gonna have to re-implement a bunch of math utilities I have into this. I do want to do that, look at text object. Right, that's a thing, isn't that? We have utilities, float to strings, directories, get files, yep. Gonna need those. Don't need that. Project file, oh, that's definition. We're not doing that. Maybe we'll do something for mockup. Minimal.h, we're keeping that. So we're all left with, I'm simply left with buffer, design. I'm gonna keep my into, we're gonna have this into class. Main.c, math utilities, minimal, style guide. I'm gonna revise that more, but the actual compiled application, which is no longer the same thing. Terminal utils, going to be using that. Text object, because I think I want to use this as a general purpose thing for writing stuff to my ASCII buffer. So I think we're good there. So let's actually just go to, again, cool. And this is going to be our Vim thing. And we're going to go into main. There's going to be stuff I'm going to have to yoink as well, but we're going to do things step by step. I'm probably going to reintroduce the application.h, but we'll change that. In fact, I probably should yoink the other one because there's some general stuff I need to remember how to do. Utilities, terminal util, text object, math utilities. Yeah, most of the stuff would have been, most application specific stuff would have been in here, so that's cool. And then you have this whole funny operation going on there. So let's talk about what we want to do today, because I actually don't know what I want to do. Let's call it vision.md. The vision. What's going on here? To understand how things actually work. Yeah, that's true, Syndicate. It's very valuable to know how things work. That's kind of how a lot of problems happen. Over abstraction, and people getting separated from how the meat's actually made. Because it's so simple, you have to learn more. So maybe C will be easy. Yeah, it's some weird trade-offs. C is simple, but then you have to, like Kate said, you have to re-implement everything, or a bunch of things, or just find like some dependencies. C++ is super nice because there's a bunch of stuff that it kind of includes to make life a bit easier, but then, and then even provide certain ideas for memory management as well, to kind of hide that away from you. Yeah, like some different languages have different standard libraries that provide different types of, heck, even like abstractions for certain things. Like in C#, you have like you can try opening a file in the C-ish type way, but that's not really encouraged. Instead, they have this whole file info and directory info thing they can use to open up a stream, and then from that you can process that however you want to, right? But it's like the specific set of objects you have to interact with to deal with that, and it covers a bunch of different things. And then, whereas like in C, if you're gonna be opening up or iterating through directories, let's say, it's a bit more involved. Is it in utilities? Probably here. Yeah. So here's like a thing for getting files. That's a whole thing. Or you get a file. But yeah, there's more stuff going on somewhere else too. Yeah, get files and directory, here we go. So char pointer to target extension, and then it returns a pointer to directories, and then I guess C has their own, some of the same stuff. But yeah, it's definitely more involved. Whereas in like C#, you can just get a directory info and then enumerate its contents and then go from there. Oh right, I had another buffer open, that's why. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about something. So the vision, right? So today, what do I even want to do? I think I want to write basic entities. I think what I want to have happen today is just have a singular ASCII character move across screen. You know what, actually? Maybe, what was that library that for reading bitmap images? Was it CBMP or something like that? If you have, if you remember that, Kate, I think you recommended it to me actually. Maybe we'll use that so that then we can create our ASCII rendering thing from that. So we can have an image loading system and then create like some kind of sampler, software sampler, software or ASCII rendered sampler. Oh, software sampler or something like that. And then like from there have our ASCII render. I think we'll do like that, a super rudimentary version of like a ray trace, like not a rasterizer, but actually have the screen shoot a ray and test against primitive entity geometry, and then use that to determine the shader we want to use, and then produce this result. Which means I would have to have some kind of like ASCII shader program system, which is gonna be kind of cool because like as fun as shaders are, I'd rather it would be nice to have like shaders are just normal scripts in your application instead of this whole separate thing. At my French, might try to get a tech job in Montreal. Oh snap! I'm a terrible Canadian. My French is almost non-existent. Tragic. Senkai, what's going on? Hello all. While I like C better, C++ is for the most part a opt-in language for any feature you want. Go ahead. Oh yeah, no. So like C++ is a superset of C, right? So you can just choose to write in C and just use a C++ extension and have access to all the same tools. Honestly, I think using pure C is kind of an extreme. Because something I do like is having operator overloading, especially for like vector operations. But I think for right now, I like the going to the extreme and just committing to doing things that way. What's probably going to happen in the long term is that when I go back to my engine, I'm going to refactor a lot of things to be just kind of idiomatic of C for the most part, but then just keep the C++ things I do like. It's also nice because like if you have a dependency you wish to use, like some library or something that's written in C++, you can just use it. A lot of libraries have a C equivalent, but not all of them do. So it's a bit more of a thing to try to get. Either you can get it working or you can't. Or either you can find a C alternative or you can't, and you might have to do a variable amount of work to coerce it to work. Yeah, we should probably think about this, right? ASCII shader program system. How is this gonna look like? Also, I spelled system wrong, didn't I? Yeah, this is some kind of cool ideas you can play around with. Because ultimately we're going to be modifying stuff in the buffer. That's all we're going to. And we already have that mechanism there. So we can just create this pipeline to buffer. And then like if we get that working, then I can start translating some shaders I have for sprite cell animations to to be this way. The goal though is that I want this step to be a plug and play thing, right? Like I think I want to have this defined, and then this is going to be the barrier between where there's like a level of abstraction where like I can plug in a different renderer. So you can keep the same structure here and process of like image loading, whatever sampler, right? And whatever entity structure, whatever, right? Or material system we decide to add, it's pseudo material system. But then this side of the pipeline can be interchangeable. So if I want to, I can use an ASCII render pipeline. Or if I want to, I can do like a software rendered thing. Where we actually render to like a... to like some... I don't know, some buffer that's going to be just used by whatever client. There's a way to do it. I saw like I was looking at some stuff for not using OpenGL but instead directly drawing to like a window context for X11 and some other stuff. I think maybe GTK too. I don't remember. I think this would be really neat to have it structured this way because I want to keep some underlying ideas here, and then if I want to use it for other projects, this stuff works and stays the same, and it's just this thing that I can swap out to be whatever I want it to be. I think that'd be a really cool idea. When shader YouTube short? I need to work on that, Syndicate. I want to re-record it, that's the thing. I don't like the way I explained it before. Hey, what's going on, Domino? I'm just trying to get grips with C++ to use in Unreal. Oh, Unreal has its own flavor of C++ too. I mean, it's still C++, but it's just you're using the engine provides so many different provides specific things for you to work with. I feel like people could use Duolingo for 10 years, be like a level 3 million language, and not hold a sentence. Well, yeah, because like, it's not really productive, those language stuff. Like, if you want to be really, there's like different approaches to it. Nothing beats immersion though, like being transplanted into that culture, and then you have to learn how to ask for a bread from the local bakery, or else you're going to starve to death in the streets in a foreign country where your family won't find you. Like that, you need that kind of pressure to actually learn a language. It helps. Or at least like force yourself to be in a conversation with someone who's a native speaker and struggle through it. That kind of commitment, man. And then there's different ways of approaching it too, because there's a lot of languages or language teaching services try to teach you languages, or they try to teach you vocab and phrases to cover some basic stuff, right? But it's not the stuff that's actually used very frequently. Or it's very specific for a situation, but it's not the thing that's commonly used. Whereas there's other ways of approaching it where you can do like the Zipfian kind of approach, where there's like this idea of the 80-20 rule, where like 80% of the words that are spoken in a language, or 20% of the words in the language are used 80% of the time. And languages always have this kind of like Zipfian distribution where there's like a significant exponential growth of usage for words. If you were to sort the words based off of usage, you have this crazy increment. So like you can approach things that way as well. But then it's one thing if you know a bunch of vocab, but the actual syntactic stuff, I feel like you start nailing the syntactic stuff when you actually start speaking in a conversation, because you can be in the conversation, and if you know the syntax, you can get quite a bit of your ideas out, or the structure at least, and then the bottleneck becomes just vocab, and you can work at vocab in that Zipfian kind of way. But if you're just focusing on just vocab without building an intuition for the grammatical structures of everything, then it's just, you're not going to have any confidence to speak at all. Oh, Welsh is your second language. That's impressive. That's cool. If you're learning a language, learn all of your most common words and find a person to speak to every day. If you're trying to force it, you'll struggle to speak. Should be always natural. Yeah, Domino, that's how you do it. That's exactly it. English is mostly French in vocabulary, but most commonly used words are Germanic. It's an interesting dichotomy. The icon is a little purple flame. It's both cozy farming game and a battle card game. You can switch back and forth. Interesting. Okay, let me look at something. We haven't even started coding yet. I'm sorry, did Firefox crash? Oh, that's not a good, that's not good. Is it gonna close it for all instances of Firefox? We've seen this before. Oh no, Firefox is crashing. What is going on? Okay, I guess I'm gonna Google over here to decide, or Kagi, my bad. CBMP. And I guess I have to drag, oh no. Oh no, are we live still? I think Firefox just hard crashed like crazy. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Jeez. Are we still live on YouTube? Are we still live on YouTube? Oh my goodness, dude. Why did you do this to me, Firefox? Oh, you know, it's probably a graphics driver thing. That's probably what's going on, is the graphics driver. Wow, YouTube Studio, you really don't have... Oh, thank you, Terrell. Well, I guess we're live, but I guess I'm on timeout from using a browser. That's fantastic. I can't even reach chat. Why is live not popping up on here? YouTube Studio sucks. What is going on? Why is there not like a dashboard for live? Dude, what? Do I have to go to regular YouTube and see what's going on here? Oh, it's not even showing live on regular YouTube. That is weird. Hello, everyone. Am I being put on timeout? Has YouTube put me on timeout for today? Like, what has happened? Yeah, I hear. Okay, I see you now, Syndicate. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you. All right, we're back in, I guess. I can't. Firefox doesn't want to open. Did Ubuntu do an update without my consent or something? Or did one of the apps... What is going on? And it's... Oh my goodness, dude. Keep doing you. Yeah, thanks, sir. I might have to shut down and restart stream because, like, I need to change my notification. It's my work notification as well. So it's kind of giving me that stress. I need to change it. I need to rotate it out. Okay, so here's our options. I can either try figuring this out, or we're going to not have access to the internet for
for today, and we're just gonna stream and just do some deving. No ambience, no nothing. Maybe the CD player for comfort, but yeah, man. What's up, Jackie? You can hear him. You've been cheating on Firefox and Safari. I got no Safari. I only got Firefox. Chimera, what's going on? Yeah, YouTube's been putting me on timeout. I'm in the corner. They put Cozy in the corner, man. Well, I guess like what was it, Bill O'Reilly? We do it live. We do it live. This is what we're gonna do. My ambience has been stripped from me. I can't Google anything, so if we run into issues, we're on our own. So we're gonna be on our own today, guys. Really wilding it. I got my trusty CD player though. Never fails me. And I guess we're not doing CBMP, so if I want to do some kind of image encoding, I guess I'm going to just do something random. I don't know. Okay, let's think about... let me also open up application, because I know there's some key steps I do there that I don't do anywhere else. Fighting flight, nope. Where's task? Okay, Vim application. Okay, so what do we do here? There's a few key things I do that are important. Task buffer size, states, session data, type def struct. Ooh, I have this whole fixed string idea. I was doing that last time, wasn't I? Maybe I should just make this a thing I have. This is an idea I got from Unity's unsafe burst, or not unsafe, but burst compilation library. The idea of fixed strings that have fixed sizes. I don't know, or maybe we just keep using char pointers until we get a CVE. That's gonna be fun. Imagine having our own CVE, guys. Next.js had one, why can't I? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So this is a thing they have. I'm gonna make my own application.h. We're gonna... Where's our application.h? There we go. So we're gonna do some stuff. Can I just paste? No, I can't. I have to actually do this whole thing. And then we have run. There's probably some more stuff going on somewhere. Oh yeah, we do this stupid... We haven't done a proper delta time thing. Or fixed update thing. There's an idea there that I need to do, but just haven't done it. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna... So we have this whole thing. Do I want to keep doing this? Here's the essentials. We disable cursor, we build our buffer, and then at some point we do some drawing. Which, by the way, I'm going to refactor this buffer. Syntax. What did I do by 30? Okay, so we do that. We have our fun little for loop. We have our clear buffer. Please, can I just do this? No, I can't. Two different Vim instances. I could probably just open it in another buffer, but I really want to keep it separate so I don't cross-contaminate projects. That's how you get to the peak of confusion. Okay. So that's an important thing. Where do we start our application size struct? Oh yeah, because you have an application struct that we create. This is no longer relevant. Oh yeah, lessons were learned. Yeah, that's a whole thing. I'll deal with that later. We probably want to have a struct for application as well. Is there anything else? Oh, you have to do the name. Right, see. See, this is what I'm talking about. You step away from a language for a while and you start forgetting things. And then we have to have the final enable cursor returned, yeah. Is it freeing? Yeah, free. It's enable? Yeah, enable. So this is the basic for loop we have going on here. This doesn't go too fast. I'm gonna have to actually like do the stupid big delay or whatever, but we'll deal with that when we deal with that. Let me catch up in chat. Also, I'm sorry, Horizontal, because I'm not gonna be able to see you today. Chat is Google now. Thank you, Google. Thank you, chat. I'm sorry, no, you guys are not Google. You're Kagi. I respect you too much. Also, what's going on, K9? So the question, what are we building? Well, that's what we're figuring out today, Domino. Okay, let's talk about that actually. What are we actually doing right now? Let's go back to the Vision MD. These are just ideas, but let's actually talk about a more concrete idea of what I want to do today. So I want to make a simple ASCII-based game. In this game, we're going to have something called entities. Can't go wrong with that. And these entities are going to have some particular type of behaviors. I think we're going to make a simple player hazard and perchance even an enemy. Actually, no, that's not the important thing. Actually, do I even want to do a hazard? This is very contextual to the type of game. I just want to have a player. I want to have walls that the player can't walk past. And I want to have triggers. Things that a player can enter and it will cause some kind of behavior. So we can think about maybe having something that triggers go to next scene or something. Or maybe have an event like for battle or something if we decide to go over the RPG route we had in mind. Either or, there's a lot of possibilities. We're not going to implement this stuff specifically, I just want to have this going on. So this kind of presupposes a couple things. We have to have some kind of simple way of just collider queries. I might lift what we have from my other engine project just for simple stuff, because I didn't get to. I got it allows for stuff. I don't know though. I might just write something simple just for testing, like a really bad O of N search or something. I'm probably gonna do the GameMaker type of API where it's like you have these functions called free at, and you pass in some coordinates x and y, something like that. collides at is the inverse of that. So it checks to see if a place is, you know, colliding or whatever, and then maybe have this return like some kind of list of colliders at that spot in space. We can do a simple implementation of this, and then we can think about actually doing performant implementations later. You can do some spatial hashing stuff. You can do some space partitioning thing, depending on what we're doing. There's a bunch of options here, but this is the idea. And on top of entities, right? In fact, we're going to do something here. These are types. There's some things that are kind of prerequisites for this. We have to deal with rendering. And then we have to deal with logic. That's more simple. But we have to have like some kind of lifetimes. So something like start, update. I'm familiar with that terminology. I might just recycle it. And that might be all we need. Yeah, and then we have to have a way of defining levels too, right? So we can manually encode this. Dude, this is turning into a full-on engine. It makes me just want to go back to my engine if we're gonna do a lot of this stuff, because I've already implemented there. But you know what, we're gonna see. We're gonna figure it out. This is how we learn, man. And maybe we'll get some new ideas from doing things a C way. But I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward. I think for right now we can just treat the player as being 1 pixel on our buffer on screen at any given time. And then we can think about our CBMTP thing. Do you want to, is there does anyone, okay, chat, you're gonna be my Google now. Does anyone know of a text-based terminal that I can use? Because I want to see if I can download CBMP or BMPC or whatever that is. But as you may or may not know, Firefox does not work on my machine anymore for whatever reason. Probably some stupid incompatibility with like... Usually when things go wrong, it's because drivers have gone bad. Because yes, guys, drivers have expiration dates like perishable foods. I forgot to put my GPU in the fridge, and this is what happens. What this is, we're just figuring stuff out, dude. Just use a git pull request. Git pull it, my friend? What do you mean git pull? Let me catch my chat real quick, guys. Sorry, I've been a little dialed in there. Just thinking out loud. Crisis King, what's going on, Crisis King? I'm doing good, man. Also, love the name. Yes, he is. Just started learning C with Raylib the other day to create a blackjack project I had in mind for a while now. That's sick, dude. I'm glad to hear it, man. You love to see it. I understand study game design, but coding is my weakness, so I get the best of both here. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's intimidating. Yeah, I mean, I used to be the same way. For the longest time, coding was my weakest discipline, and art and music was like my strong suit. The cool thing about coding, though, is that like the more you're exposed to it, the more you spend time in the lab cooking, the more confident you'll get. I think if you spend time around people who are much more smarter than you, you're going to start getting crumbs of knowledge and insight from them. That makes a big difference, man. Clone it. Dude, I'm so stupid. Oh, you mean like you're talking about the CBMP. Do you have the URL? Do you have the URL for cloning it? So I can just statically link it and just build it. No, they're not Sarika keycaps. They're KT strawberries. Then read a book called The Theory of Fun by game designers. What's going on here? I'm good at general coding and software dev, but game design is my weakness. That's why I'm here. Yeah, dude. That's actually the same thing I've struggled with, is that like the low-hanging fruit are like the actual components of games, which people struggle with. Everyone struggles with, right? That's a whole, you can have a whole career just mastering one component of making games. That can be getting really good at programming, getting really good at doing 2D illustrations or rigging or 3D modeling or whatever, VFX. It could be doing music. But those are just like, just the low, the basic foundations, right? It's not, I'm not disparaging it. I'm not saying they're not important. What I'm saying is that when you start working on a game, those are the immediate things you kind of wrestle, at least a lot of people wrestle with. And it's only when you start getting confident at that, especially programming, that's when you start actually having the, at least for me, at that step it is when I start having the pleasure of trying to do some game design and thinking like a designer and actually thinking about the high level stuff. It's worrying about, hey, I'm not caring about the technical stuff. What is fun? And once we figure out what is fun, we'll force and coerce the tech to accommodate it and support it and make it a first class thing. Git clone. What is it? But yeah, if anyone has the URL for it, let me know, for CBMP. Which repo? CBMP with Matflow? I have no idea. I never use this. So I'm hoping that's it. I'm probably assuming that's the correct one. It's supposed to be a C library for reading bitmap images. That's the idea here. So if that's correct and it looks right, just send me the URL and I'll clone it. If not, then GG's. I just installed malware on my machine. So I can't wait for you guys to turn my machine into a crypto miner. You can't post a link. Oh my goodness. Security. Okay, you said it's Matflow, right? So it's probably going to be www.github.com/Matflow. And then his project's going to be cbmp.git, I'm assuming. If we do that, hey, we did it, I guess. In the wrong directory. Whoopsie. But hey, it worked. So we're just gonna have this now, and we're gonna go into our projects, and we're gonna go into our ASCII thing. Where is it? ASCII quest. And we're gonna just paste it in here. And then hopefully they have good documentation, because we're offline right now. README. Please, you have the library, a Google test. You have a test suite in here. That's cool. I don't care about that though. What do you have? You have a CMake. We're not using CMake. We're just gonna statically link you, bad boy. So you have the C file and you have the headers. Okay, cool. I hate that it does this. I hate that it goes to LunarVim instead of just NeoVim. Or not LunarVim, it uses the Roslyn coloring stuff. I don't know why. I thought it commented it out. Okay. So I'm assuming... Okay, all the functions are here. Get depth, get width. Wait, what? Usually it's height and depth. Yeah, height, width. What is depth? Is it like the color depth? Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out today. We have get pixel. That's lovely. I like that. I like to see that. Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna... I might not even just use the header file. I might just like
link the C file directly and just call it a day. Can I do that? I probably shouldn't. I should probably make a lib folder at least. Yeah, I should probably do that. Oh right, wrong file. Yes, delete both of them. Okay, so we have CBMP now. We have access to that. You scared me for a bit. Thought there was something over there for me to address. Oh, what? What's going on here? Could post links there. Oh yeah, well I can't go on Discord because I don't have Discord downloaded on this machine because I only use the website. To be honest though, I think so. Horde practice. Well, we're not here for... We're not... You guys... We don't come here for peak engineering, right? We're here to do horrendous things in new and fun ways. Or let's see if I can just focus on making a, yeah, cause we, like, honestly, there's all this stuff that we got going on here, but I think all I want to do is just have a, yeah, I really don't like that you do this. Let's just try drawing something. Oh, I have something open already, don't I? Yeah, do I have you open somewhere else? Yep. Yeah, okay, so we have our input start functions. That makes things a little bit easier. I'm not gonna do this premature application creation thing. Instead, I'm just gonna yoink this and then put it here. So we have our disabling cursor, we have our building our buffer, we have our clear buffer, screen stuff. We're good there. This is used for debugging purpose before. I'm probably gonna keep it. And then let's just do the include lib cbmp.c. Oh brother, that's just what we're gonna do, man. So how are we gonna draw this? How are we gonna load something? Let's actually figure that out. That might be a little bit important. A little bit important. .c. They probably have like some documentation, but you know what? We're just gonna look at the API and just figure it out from there. So get int, get file byte number. Don't know what that is. Get file byte contents, validate file type. We're not doing validation. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna make it happen, man. Map. There's a pointer to BMP. I'm assuming BMP is the file struct, the struct that they create themselves. And that's how you interact with stuff. Populate pixel array. Update file. Interesting. Is this like internal stuff, or is this the external stuff? So I'm guessing this, you give it a file pointer. So I'm assuming this is the entryway of getting the get file by content. I guess it just gets the contents of the file. And then do you have to like, oh, 1 second, they have a bopen function. Public function implementations. Ah. Okay, so we don't have to worry about any of that. We could just do bopen. And then just pass in a char file path, and then it'll actually handle this whole stuff. And then we just have a BMP that we can access. Splendid. Okay. Well. Okay, let's just start there then. So
we should probably, let's actually open up whatever. All right, it just said, it's just B open, right? So we're just gonna make a BMP pointer image is gonna be B open, and then we're gonna do, I don't know. Let's say we're gonna call this file test.bmp. I'm assuming we include the extension, or maybe we don't. It might be a redundant thing. If open path, or open file. We're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna figure it out. So let's go to Asprite. Don't fail me, Asprite. Yes, my one and only. See, you know what? Honestly, my biggest issue is I was using Firefox. This is my wake-up call to use Ladybird, or I don't know. Oh, what's happening? Oh, this is super slow. Oh yeah, it's totally a graphics driver thing, I think. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. I can't even. Let me stop. Leave me alone. Yeah, I see this. Are you seeing this? Oh, we're struggling. Oh my goodness. Asprite, what is going on? How is an artist supposed to work in this environment? Dude, if it's actually this bad, and I decide not to just end stream, I might have to like manually produce a bitmap image myself. Like that just might be what we have to do. I might have to like look at the file standard and then manually construct a BMP in like Vim or something. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I hate that this just happens. Like I deliberately don't update stuff, but it still happens. This is supposed to be an issue with Windows, not here. CBMP lib. Okay, so this is the main folder. You're gonna use. Do you support bitmaps? Yes, you do. Bitmap files. Okay, so that worked. Okay, do we need any of this other stuff? Buffer, int, internal utilities, text, objects. We're not using you right now. It's not going to render anything. I just want to see if it compiles. And if it does, that means we're in business. Ooh. Huh? Where is this from? Oh, wait. Actually, what? Where's this happening from? In main.c 15. Oh. Buffer has... Okay, so I guess we have to include text object then. Yeah, I guess we have that dependency. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I mean, I see no errors, so I'm assuming it ran. Okay, so if that indeed ran, let us try doing something, shall we? So we have this BMP, we have this clear buffer thing. Let's open up our buffer. And we're not using this whole... I need to generalize this into its own like shader thing, but sure, we'll have some simple functions to draw into the buffer, because why not? Buffer draw background, here we're not doing that. So valid chord, buffer draw square, buffer right horizontal line, right text, right to buffer. We have the coordinates, the text we wish to draw to the buffer, and the wrap length. There's gotta be something even simpler. Free buffer. If not, I can reuse this function. This function should relatively be fine, but build word list. What? Okay, I'm not gonna think about that. We're just gonna ignore that. Okay, so this is a simpler one. Horizontal line. Oh, it fills an entire horizontal line with this character, and you can specify what Y coordinate to do that. Okay, cool. Buffer draw square is valid chord. Buffer draw background. Yeah, that's stuff specifically for Riven done. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to use this simple function, or maybe modify it, but this should be just good enough. So within here, now you know what? We're going to have to iterate through the contents of our image. We should probably learn what the method is of getting width. Clearly it has it here, but okay, here, get width, get height. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Get width, get height. Wait a second. What am I modifying? Oh, this is okay. Okay, I can close this. Okay, here we go. No, not here we go. This is the buffer file. I need to go to main. There we go. Okay, now yeah, now we're cooking. It was what? I'm assuming it's gonna be the same thing for height. Okay, yep. Right there, and then we're gonna do our nested for loop. We can think about this later. I just want to draw something onto my buffer. We're going to yoink the same thing. Y is not going to be too much different. Okay, cool. So let's figure out what this get pixel, what does it work with? Get pixel int index offset channel. So I'm assuming, I actually don't know what to assume here. They don't have some kind of struct for representing pixels, so it pixels. Oh, I guess we have to get the absolute index into it. Is it like a one-dimensional array? So you have to take your coordinates and calculate the index from it, and then they have explicit blue, green, red channel. Okay, so that's what channel. What is channel? Oh, okay, that's exactly what it is. So they have a blue, green, red, like, you know, essentially. Okay, and you just get the value. This is for. Wait. Where is it returning the value though? As a void return type. So we do like bmp.pixels index.blue equals value. So it's setting a value within our bitmap image. Is this setting stuff? Am I dumb? Have I been befuddled? Is this a private internal thing? That looks like a private internal thing.
1 second. Let's actually look at what's publicly exposed instead of using the internals. There's get width, get height, get depth, get RGB. Okay, so that's probably more in line with what I'm looking for. And what do you have? Okay, you use coordinates X, Y, unsigned char. Okay, you provide a char pointer, and then it assigns the values of these to your char pointer. So what? It's like a why is it a char pointer? Is it just for a byte? I guess we have to figure out. Oh, unsigned int, get depth. So what does that indicate? I'm a little confused here on how to deal with this. I could like, one assumption is that we're just dealing with a byte amount of a byte space amount of information here, and assume it's going to produce a value from 0 to 255, and then we can just normalize it and then render things the way we want to. That's an idea. Or there's probably something else going on here where they're just doing a char pointer, but you might have to actually like figure out what depth the image is working at and then do something according to it. I'm assuming it's probably just the first option though. I might be just overthinking it. Alright, let me catch up in chat. My bad, guys. I was a little in there. But I get it. What's going on here? What's going on, CJ Yeager? What's going on, man? Sorry I didn't see you sooner, but that's just how things are. Not quite, but the most apparent one. Many maintainers from Vim also maintain NeoVim as well. NeoVim is much more rich visually, appealing plugins, which kind of became VS Code and Termina. Yeah, it's kind of converging. Oh, wait, what? Cozy making me look back at the string. What'd I do? What library is this? I'm using CBMP 5T3W. But we're gonna figure it out right now. I handle nature 360 or narrow. What do you mean 360? 42? Where am I? What are who is what now? Am I here? Yes, you are here, Domino. Yep, just for a byte. I prefer uint 8t, but it is the same in the end. Okay, cool. So just a byte. Thank you, Senkai. Wait, what are you guys saying? EPI still until when? What headings are you using? Should I be trying to help because I have experience, but it's been a year? I should be trying to help. It's okay. Okay, we're here for the discovery. We're gonna just figure stuff out. I'm just gonna get data and then we're gonna just, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well. But hey, I can yoink this and I can at least, oh, I can't because we're not in the same turn. Oh, okay. So let's just, what is this? It's a void thing. So it's just gonna be get pixel and RGB. That's all I care about. We're not dealing with alpha. Do they have an alpha overload? Does C? No, C doesn't have overloads. What I'm talking about. So how'd you even get the alpha channel if you wanted that? Is that what this is? Depth? I don't know. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to deal with things as they are first. Image. And then X, Y. We got that covered. And then the values we're going to be assigning. So we have our... I don't really care about R, really. R. Do they support null? I don't know. I don't want to test that today. RGB. And then... unsigned.
RGB, and that's about it, right? Okay, cool. And then once we have that, what I want to do is go back to our buffer. We have a... Oh, we have a is valid chord thing as well. But no, we have this particular function. We're drawing buffer, build buffer. I could have sworn I have a simple... If not, I'm gonna just make it right now. Write to buffer. Why does this have a number? I forgot the reasons why I did things the way I did them. Buffer, write text. We have an int2. That's a whole thing we got going on. I'm just gonna do something simple. A simple just function called draw car. I don't even want to do it into. We're just gonna do int x, int y. If it's valid, we return 0. We're not doing this whole stir length stuff. We're just gonna directly just check x and y coordinates, see if they're valid. If they are valid, then we're just gonna promptly calculate, I forgot how I did it. Index is equal to okay, there we go. That's index, and then we're gonna go into s underscore buffer index equals whatever our import char was. Oh, whoops. Am I modifying the wrong thing? Yeah, I am. Whoops. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. It's okay. Equals, and then we have to have our char. Okay. And what, return 1? Is that what we do here? Y offset by what? Why do we... Why is that a thing? No, this is gonna be void. We're gonna keep things simple. We don't do error handling. If there's an error, the application should just segfault hard with no logs or anything. We don't do that here. It's super simple. Just don't make an error, dude. Just don't. It's... Okay, and then we have to figure out what kind of character we want to use. We're going to be equal to... Let's do like 5. And then it'll be like... I don't know. How do you do this in C again? I keep forgetting. Every single language has its like... way of defining. Oh, you know what? I do this in the buffer array. Where's the value tables? Yeah, char. You can just do string literals. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm just gonna yoink you as well, because you're a good one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 5. And then we're just gonna do char final. It's gonna be equal to gradient. We're gonna index into gradient. We're gonna do r divided by, it's byte, right? So we're gonna divide it by 255. Do you have to do this whole F? Can you do just this in C? I forgot what the conventions are for floating point stuff. Or maybe I have to cast it to a float or something. I think that's how you actually do it. That times 5. So normalize the value, multiply by 5, and then we're gonna use final. And that's how we're gonna draw stuff to the buffer. Okay, so let's try building this. And either we achieve glory. In fact, no, I'm gonna keep CVMP open because we're probably gonna be debugging stuff here. Okay. Oh, simple stuff. I forgot the semicolon here. And that probably will fix the other issues. No, final. It's not happy. I should be happy though. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? Expected before char? I'm fairly certain I saved. And I did place a semicolon where you expected. So why are you mad at me? Okay. Error subscript is not an integer. Oh, you have to cast it to an integer, the final result, of course. Yeah, this is not ugly. This is totally beautiful. Don't you dare say that this is ugly. This is splendid. Perfect. Task. Okay, cool. Very cool. We have a blank screen. Very cool. Very cool. I am happy with that. Totally cool. I'm not actually happy with that, but we're just gonna hide the pain inside. Just hide it in here. So either these values are all 0 or my math here is a little bit wrong. You know what we can do? We can just do some printing. Some good old-fashioned printf. Percent. Oh wait, it's not gonna really work. It's gonna kind of work. Percent %d. Yeah, we're gonna do some of that. Okay. You know what? I probably should add some space so I can actually see the values. That'd be a little bit important, wouldn't it? It would be just a little bit important. Okay. So that's resembling the pattern we have in our little image. Just looking at it visually, that looks kind of accurate, honestly. At 0, 47. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe just something wrong with my math then. Maybe 255 is causing this to be just normal. Is that the maximum value of a... Wait, am I wrong? A byte? Am I being dumb? A byte is... oh my goodness, did I forget what a byte is? It's, is it 4 bits? Or is that a nibble? And the byte is 8 bits. Yeah, I think that might be it. 8 bits. What is the maximum value represented by that? By 8 bits. What's going on, Samurai? It's good to see you, man. And Tamerka? It's so hard to think while it's smoking hot outside. Never thought the heat wave would be the biggest roadblock in making of a diploma. Jeez, it must be really hot. What's going on, Connor? Hey, Cozy. You making something new, or are you still on the same project? It's a different project, Connor. I just felt like treating myself. With the other game, I'm at this point where a lot of the things I need to do are just assets, and I'm just going to do that off stream. So today I'm treating myself by actually starting a new project and just doing some C stuff. It feels good. I like it. I don't want to lose my my C abilities. 8 bits. Okay, cool. Thank you, Tamerka. Or Kate. Also made it to be... It needs to be unsigned. 256. What's going on here? 256. We have our char value divided by float 250. Okay, yeah, you're 256 value range. Okay, but I was not crazy. I was right. 4 bits is a nibble. 8 bits is a byte. Okay. Maybe I should just externalize my math here. And just do... Well, let's do the math actually, because then we have a value range of just this, and the bottom one is like, let's do that. Let's pull out the calculator. In fact, no, we're not doing this. We're busting out the TI or the, where is it? HyperCalc Pro. We're pulling out this bad boy. Let's just I'm not gonna close chat, but we're just gonna do that. So in our outputs, the max value or the value we're getting is like 47, right? So if we do 47 divided by 256, then we're gonna get about 18, right? 18%. So now, what is the increment for this? We have 5 elements. 1 divided by 5 is 20%. So they're all that 40%. So it could very well be working the way it is right now. And it's just that the values we don't have enough values in our gradient to represent the image faithfully. So one option would be potentially just upping the value for this. And if Aseprite will let me. If not, we're going to have to... Guys, not only are we writing our own engine, we're also going to manually make our images 1 byte at a time. That's what we're going to do. We're going to open up Vim and start making our bitmap images. This is 16 by 16 canvas, man. How much hardware acceleration we need for that? Off by 1 overflow. It happens, syndicates. It's happened to me. DGS, happy. Hey, buddy. How are you doing? I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking, DGS. Hopefully you are doing well, my friend. Also, horizontal chat. I'm sorry I can't answer you. I only have... Firefox has crashed. I'm on mobile, so if there's someone in horizontal chat, you probably just have to come into here. Dude, how am I going to end stream with this not working? I don't even know. Alright, let's try running this again. Oh, wait, 1 second. Let's not hit people with that, and we're instead going to just print F. Okay, build, task, still rendering nothing. Did you save? What is going on? Okay, does someone know of like a software rendered image editor or something? That can just like sudo apt get or clone and run and build easily? Because today of all days for my drivers to just go AWOL like this is not great, man. What's going on, Samurai? $255 will cause an overflow. Oh, okay. I was right then. They used $255. $255 is the max. Because you're including 0. I mean, it wouldn't cause the issue in our case. The bigger 256 instead of 255 would just mean that the result is going to be smaller than it's expected, which is still within range. So it wouldn't cause an overflow, but still. I paid for them that value range. We're going to use it. Oh my goodness, dude. Aseprite, why are we struggling so... Oh my goodness, dude. This is rough. I will never forgive NVIDIA. Or Ubuntu, honestly. Honestly, today I might just switch, dude. Ubuntu's been trying to force me to do the update. And I've been riding high not having some of the stuff they've included. But maybe it's sneaked in without my consent. I set the options off, but it keeps prompting me sometimes. Ubuntu, don't become the next Windows, man. Canonical. Really? Really? Is this what we're doing? You know what I could do, guys? Oh, this is gonna be... Okay, I know what I need to do. I'm gonna pull up my laptop. I'm gonna create this repository. And I'm gonna clone it. And then I'm gonna use Aseprite on my laptop. Because in 2026, you gotta have 2 machines to be able to do pixel art. That's gonna be too much. You can't have one machine do pixel art and do some C text editing. That's way too much, man. Come back in 50 years, buddy, when technology catches up. So we gotta have 2 top of the line machines. One just to do the pixel art, the other one to do some text editing. Fantastic. I love it. This is great. This is peak software, man. Yeah, it's still not working. It's still not. It's either the image just did not save, or I mean, we can try printing out the values to corroborate if the image actually got saved. I'm doubting it though, so. Okay. Oh, we have some negative values. Now that's interesting. How is that happening? Wait, what? How do you get negative? Is it? Wait, are chars signed? Is that a thing? I'm just messing up. Okay, that's within our value range. Okay, cool. So the image did save. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, I'm dumb. You mentioned that, Kate. I just assumed char was unsigned, but I'm kind of dumb because I'm realizing now that in the actual in the functions, they themselves specify unsigned char. So wishful thinking on my part. Okay, so we got that fixed though. Okay, we're good there. So now let's get rid of this printf, build, run. Still got nothing. Still got nothing. So if the value, okay, let's try separating some stuff out here though. Oh, order of operations. This may have been, yeah, it may not have been doing things in the order I want them to do. Okay, that's fine. That's why we do this. Yeah, that was probably it. That was most likely it. We had to do it in the outer parentheses. Times 5. And then we can just do value. Okay, still not working. R divided by float 256. Oh, it's an unsigned value. Okay, let's not do the float thing. Okay, let's see what values we're actually getting here. Okay, stop. What do you have for me here? A lot of zeros. fact, let's not do this. I'm just gonna get rid of the for loop, the infinite for loop right now. We're just gonna get rid of this because I just want to see this render once and then quit. We're gonna free the buffer. I don't want to clear the buffer though. So I'm hoping building. Ooh, we're missing the end of the input. Oh, whoops. Inner for loop. Task out. Yep. Okay, so this is just 0 right now. So I'm assuming the issue is happening in how we're doing the maths here. The math, the graphs, the formulas. Oh, you know what? Because, you know what's probably happening? It was doing the division, and then to cast the result to an integer. Because it's a normalized value, it's just going to round down to 0. And then 5 times 0 is just 0, so I think I need to have this division happen first. Well, no, it's going to still be the same thing. I need to have these bad boys be floats. Oh my goodness, my understanding of how C does the value conversions is going to be, it's a little finicky. And I'm assuming there's some things I'm doing very, very wrong. Very wrong. And I think we have an extra one of these bad boys here, so yeah. Okay, the outer parentheses, there we go. Build. Hey! That looks like something. That looks promising. Let's get rid of this printf business. Okay. Build. Task out. Nothing. Well, we had indices of 4 though, so that was a good sign. That was a good sign. That meant some stuff was going down. So if things aren't working well, it's likely happening here. Oh, wait a second. These are supposed to be chars. Nope. So these are meant to be unsigned. This is supposed to be just a regular char array. Int is supposed to be index into said thing. This is getting some valid values as we inspected here. And then we index using this int value into our gradient array to select the final char, and then we pass that into our buffer draw car thing. Is there something I'm missing here? Like, out of curiosity, let's just say, because I wrote this function and we haven't even tested it. So like, if I were to simply go here and say, you know what, I would like to have this character drawn here, what would you produce for me? Nothing. Oh, quite right. Nothing. How splendid. Oh, how splendid. Okay, this is weird that's hanging on, though. So I'm assuming there's probably something I'm missing here. Do we have to draw buffer? Is there... You know, there's probably a function I forgot to call. That's probably what's going on here. What do we have? We have clear buffer, clear screen. That is indeed a thing that happens. And then we have these distinct application modes. Board view. And I think they're responsible for handling their own drawing. So let's take a little gander at, I believe, board view. I mean both, but let's see here. Where are we? Where are we? Okay. So I do believe there should be a project view. Splendid. And within their project view, there should be an update. Application project. Oh, it's just a function. Beautiful. Buffer, we draw BG. Okay. Splendid. Beautiful even. And we have this simple write to buffer thing. This is all within a single function. So we have our inner loop, disable, build buffer, application run, then we have enter the for loop, clear buffer, clear screen. We run the application specific thing, which is this, and it draws stuff. But it is not, yeah, it just writes to buffer. But that's simply all that it does. Interesting. So either something else happens or that should be enough. That is my conclusion. Project view, board view, printf. Oh, we print. We draw that. We have to print out the buffer. Yeah, that would be a little important. We probably should print the buffer. You know what? No, we're not. This should be a thing, like a function that we just call. That's dumb. Okay, well, we know the thing now. We know what we're missing. Perfect. And yeah, I think it would be as simple as just this. Wow, something that simple. That was what, %s? And then s underscore buffer. That's, yeah, and then a new line. For cleanliness. For cleanliness. You know, we're just gonna do buffer. That's like, okay, I'm trying to get into a better convention of like prepending stuff, so we're just gonna do that. So we just go to our, nope, I don't like that. I don't know, I have to make some kind of hard line decision about how we're gonna do stuff. Okay, nope, we build, we task out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just drawn our bitmap image. We've drawn it. It's done. It's easy, simple. First try, totally, guys. First try. Totally. It's just like that, guys. You saw that? It was just simple, you know, step 1, you open up Vim. Step 2, you type in int main, parentheses, open brackets. And then step 355, call the free buffer. That's all there was to it. That's all there is. It's so easy. So simple. Okay, so now we have an image drawn, and now we can start thinking about how we want to architect stuff. We talked about this whole vision board thing, and how we want to have these particular types of functionality that I want to have in the game. So we need to start thinking about how we're going to handle rendering, and how we're going to do all these tests, how we're going to do this stuff. What's going on? Alright, I'm seeing a lot of 255. May not be the only one having tech issues. Should we just spam 255? Oh, you want me to change, not 256? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, let me help you guys out. This seems to be a issue, so let's just fix this. You know what? Honestly, I don't even like 256. I think we should just split the difference and round up. 300. A solid 300. You guys ready for that? Oh yeah, that sounds good. That's great. That's that. No buffer overflow though. We're living life like Larry. You know, honestly though, this is nah. Let's just go to the nearest, the other next neighbor. Of powers of 2. Yeah, I think that's splendid. Fine. We'll actually do things correctly though. We'll be correct. We'll be correct. Yeah, I mean, it's, honestly, it's very negligible, but hey, it's correct now. Now, that being said, what is going on here? Oh, we're drawing in the inner loop. That's why. This has to be in the outer loop. I mean, we're also running, our FPS is way too high. We're running this way too much. There we go. But yeah, you're going to have this stuttering because we're running it way too quickly. We have to actually do some kind of, I want to do like a fixed update enforcement so we guarantee the application's running like 60 FPS instead of running at like infinite FPS and having the bottleneck being the drawing. But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 255? My bad, guys. I meant to say we're going to do just a solid 420, right? The funny number. And then the image becomes slightly less bright. Okay, we're going to stop. So, we've done something today. We've learned how to use CBMP, not using the header file. We're just using the C file directly, just linking that bad boy into our project. As you do. You love to see it. We got the wrong power of 2 number. And we got our bitmap image working. So, what to do next? We have some serious things to consider. Here, my friends. A lot of ideas. We can start. I like starting things by putting everything into one file and then breaking them up into their separate files as it becomes necessary. So let's think about this a little bit. So there's a couple things I'd want to do. So I want to have this idea of a shader that we can run. I want to have like a function pointer you can pop in, and that's just what is going to be rendering. I want to have entities, and we have to have some kind of transform information for objects. Doesn't have to support rotation. It could be just a simple translation transform. That's all it is, right? So we have to have that idea, as well as the concept of scale with some attached stats. So it's going to be a transform or translation and scale, no rotation for now. I want to get it to arbitrary rotation, but let's just start here. Let's start simple. Let's start very simple. So, and we got to think about how we want to architect all this stuff. But the way I'm thinking about things is that we're going to have the transform information just be a source of truth that's independent. Pendant. So we're going to have it like be separate and all co-located for maximum cache coherency. We're gonna have our entities, but we're not gonna do some fancy entity component system. I don't want to do that, and nor are we gonna do like inheritance. I think I'm literally just gonna have. This is what I was doing in the other project, and it was going fine for the time being. But we're just gonna have a fixed budget and allocate a bunch of stuff up front. So all the different types of entities that we expect to have at any given point, we just have them allocated up. And then we have to have like this idea of material. I have to think about this a bit more though. The idea of a material. I don't want to replicate the same stuff. If there's a way to simplify things, because so much of how we deal with shaders is coaxed around the boundaries of an API or of a graphics API and all that. But now that we're gonna have everything consolidated, what makes sense? What actually makes sense? I might just have like, I might still want to have something separate, but it might be something as simple as like an array of just function pointers, one for a fragment shader essentially, and then another one for a vertex one if I want to do that. There's no real concept of vertex, so I might just treat everything as like a quad that's being, manipulated in different ways. Let me catch up with chat real quick, guys. 1 second. In Soviet code type U. Yes. That's a fun. I haven't heard that in forever, man. That and the Chuck Norris memes. Rip Chuck Norris. It's so weird that he's gone. He was just always kind of there, man. What's going on? Had to step off. I see a bunch of 255. How did we get him? They got me. I got. We got him. Just reminds you of George Bush. I have to head off for tonight. Good night, folks, and good morning to those on the other side of the world. Yeah, have a good one, Senkai. Thanks for popping in, and hope you have a good one too. Gosh. There's so many possibilities here. How do I want to think about it? Like when I'm dealing with shaders and stuff like that. We're probably gonna have an animator class because I'm probably gonna do the animation sheet thing. I think I'm just gonna yoink the stuff from my other engine and just make it C styled here, because we're gonna have an animator. Yeah, I think we're gonna have just different parts of the modules of the application that are just focused on one thing. And then like each entity or each entity is gonna have just an ID and you use that ID to get stuff here. But that kind of limits stuff. Like what if you want to have an entity that just for whatever reason wants to have like I don't know, a bunch of like yeah, how do I want to do that? Because in theoretically, we can have an entity that just reserves a bunch of transforms. Because we can assume, for our purposes, we can assume that everything's just quads right now. Maybe I want to branch out and make this generalized for geometry eventually, maybe. But for peak usage for this game, maybe we just assume everything is a quad. So key assumption. Everything is a quad, right? Because then, like, I can just have an entity request whatever it wants. So it can just arbitrarily request a bunch of transforms and then have them be attached to like we can make it like that where you rent out stuff essentially. So I think what I'm going to do is actually have rendering coupled to transforms. It's going to be a one-way thing. Transforms can exist independently of the renderers, but the renderer is always associated with the transform. Not assumption, rule. Always bound to transform. Because I kind of think that'd be kind of cool. What's happening? What's going on, Justin Lee? Hope you're doing well. Megatron has requested the Transformer Optimus Prime. We're gonna do the big tech thing of just naming. We're gonna just have a bunch of services, microservices, and we're gonna call them random stuff like Megatron and whatnot. I love every time you say yoink. It reminds me of that YouTuber who walks around the forest, or walks around forests and Everglades and just yoinks lizards and snakes and even swamp puppies sometimes. Oh my goodness. That's a lot more braver than the yoink I do. I just like yoinking some bits and bytes. That's fun though. It's like IRL Pokemon. Who doesn't like IRL Pokemon, man? Man, I want to touch grass. Haven't done that in a minute. Transform, independent, render. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do this. Do it this way, and then like you can get an animator is always gonna be as a thing that you can request as well. I like this. I think I like this. I like this idea. So far, at least. So, type def struct Transformers. And we're going to keep it super simple. Like, you're going to have int. Oh, I guess we have to. Do I really want to do like a whole math type just for this? Like a whole struct just for that? There's something about. We're not going to do physics. Okay, we can either create a int2 type. We already have it int2 type. What am I saying? We can use it int2 type here. And just have like a position and then scale. And that's just going to be the things. I guess I might just do that. Yeah, I'm not even thinking. I don't know. We're in C. There's no like vector. I can't do operator overloading, so I'm still gonna have to manually dereference X and Y and whatever. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like a whole lot of hoopla for no reason. Yeah. Or we can like try doing something cool. Like we're not gonna make it independent transform. What if we just do like a instead of a struct of a array of structs, we can just do an struct of arrays. Because I think we can do some like AVX. I want to try doing some AVX things. And I'm pretty sure that there's something beneficial about having things structured. I don't know. If I had Google or Kaggle available to me, I'd be Kagging. I'd be searching up like some AVX instructions and see how you might use them to do stuff. Say like 1,000 or something. So we're just thinking about this just purely in terms of data. And then all of a sudden the index represents a transform that you're accessing. Linked lists? No, I want to allocate everything up front, Kate. I generally avoid AVXC backwards compatible with older CPUs. Yeah, I mean, you can do... There's ways around it. Or we can even just use old instruction sets before AVX for that kind of compatibility. I don't know, I'm not going to worry about it too much right now, though. We'll just do something simple. Cozy, what's up? What's going on, Minecraft Steve? The new and improved Minecraft Steve. It's good to see you, man. Missed you. It's been a little bit, man. Glad to see you, though. New stuff flying by the seat of pants, doing all little C is a tree. Yeah, C is great. Syndicate. It feels so good, dude, to be in C again, and dealing like with things like this, and just using like I you don't understand how just working in Unity just kind of wears on you without realizing, because it's like here, you see how simple it is for me to just build and then run, and then like I get instant feedback about stuff, and like. Yes, the tools are more robust using Rider. You can do a lot of refactoring stuff very easily with Rider and all this stuff, but then you spend a lot of time waiting. Like you wait a couple seconds for things to compile, maybe minutes even, depending on like what you're doing. You wait for that stuff to happen. You're waiting for the compiling domain. You sometimes have to wait for Rider to load caches sometimes. If you have like the autocomplete stuff, sometimes you get into the habit of waiting for that. I turn it off usually, but when I'm at work right now, for some reason, I've left it on this new laptop. But like, it just feels like there's so much stuff in between you and the state of the thing you're writing. And with this, it's like every time I work and see it, it's just I feel so happy because it's just so direct. There's very little between me and the actual executable, and you know, it feels way more real in an odd way. Way more direct. I like it. But yeah, we're not gonna do. I want to do like just straight up have everything allocate just prefix, because usually that's enough for most things. Honestly, especially for like the lean amount of data we're storing, like it's totally fine. Oh, of course, Minecraft Steve. I remember you in the name change. Got to go to school. I'll catch you later, though, man. Take care. To the actual DNA of a project. Exactly, Connor. It feels like so much. Like, I get the utility and the purpose and stuff like that, but it just. You feel so far removed by the levels of, I don't know. Separation. It's abstraction, indirection, whatever, man. Okay, so we have this. And this can be like our whole state of transforms. And then we have a renderer. Yeah. But yeah, there's like older vector extension stuff that can be compatible with more machines, and I think I might even just have like different compiled. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do multi-compiled actually. That seems like a pain. Like the legacy version that's like it kind of sucks, but it's just also way more compatible, and then like the more fancy version with the latest and greatest. I don't know. I think I want to keep things very simple for the end users. Okay, and now we have this whole thing going on here for renderer. I want to do. I want to do like a. So this doesn't matter as much, but I just want to have a bunch of function pointers. I forget the syntax in C though. I did it for the command stuff though, so let me just check out what's going on there. Command function, type def. Okay, type def. So you do a type definition. And then the void pointer command function void pointer, meaning it takes in no arguments. It just does the thing. Oh no, it's not a void. It doesn't. It takes in something, but it's responsible. The thing is responsible for casting it to the correct type that you're gonna be dealing with. Yeah, okay. See, like that's like some polymorphic kind of, not polymorphic. It's kind of, yeah, it's polymorphic. That's something that would have been like a whole interface you define. All right, but that's what I'm thinking we're doing. So you have to do. And then pointer I'm not sure I want to use the term that, but yep, I think I got it right. Yeah. Oh yeah, whoops, type def. Why not 1,000? I have to think though. I think I want to do like an open world tile based game that can be a bit large. So we're gonna have to do some kind of culling for all this stuff. So the max render should only be the things that are actually in view. I guess it doesn't matter though. I think I'm gonna have an idea or a concept of like a, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a concept of materials kind of, but the application we're gonna make it like an enum, and you define the type of shader function that is. So like we don't have to get any specific function or pointer. We can just do like the enum for the type of material or type of shader we want to use for a renderer, and then like it just does the thing. Let me catch up though. Renderers. Leave me alone. I'm trying my best, man. No. Renderers. Wait, what did I do wrong? Renderer. Where have I gone astray? What's happening? I was gonna say remember me guy, and then Minecraft came out of nowhere. I think that the guy's name was Dale or something. Yeah, that was neat. The other person was Amexis. I got their name written down here. For x86 anyways, yeah. And then if I do mobile, I have to do neon and stuff. You know, maybe I'll just not do any of that stuff and we'll just keep things simple. For 2D games, culling is generally less important. Yeah, like I don't think it's actually that, like I don't think we actually have to worry about culling at all, because like it's not like there's a variable amount of things in a game. Like we're kind of, the data is very lean. Like this is not important, honestly. And like it's a different kind of consideration as well. The way I have it implemented is that we're gonna do a ray trace from the actual camera view. So like the place where that becomes important is going to be like the fact that you have to, well, we're not going to do a ray trace. We're not stepping through it. I'm going to do the thing where I test geometry. Because there's simple math you can do given a simple, like, it requires like a primitive geometry, right? But you can like do tests on it to find the point that's like most, I don't know, I have to think about it. I have to think about how I'm going to do it. But yeah, like we're going to build a list of objects that this collides with, and or that intersect with the ray shot out from the camera at like at characters we're hitting. So the bottleneck is going to become the amount of objects. Yeah, the amount of objects we're going to have to parse through to test the collision with. So if that's the thing, then like, yeah, culling matters, but you still have to keep this information here present in some way. We just might want to have to use a different structure for that. But like I said, we're going to implement things the worst way possible first, so we can actually have hard data to understand just how bad things are, and then we can choose what kind of acceleration structure we want to use to alleviate the bottlenecks. And it's going to be cool because then you're going to see exactly what parts of the application are bad and require the optimization. So you can actually optimize where things are important or have the biggest potential bang for your buck. So going back to this, we're going to do the, yeah, we saw the type def struct, but okay, cool. You could just call it directly. So we're going to just have an array of fragments. There might be some more information we have to pass into it, but for now, this is how we're going to deal with things. Yeah, we have to pass some information into this so we can actually sample things correctly. And there's going to be information that has to be associated with it as well. So you know what? We might make this like a... The cool thing though is that you don't have this, because with shaders and like normal materials and normal game engines, you have the CPU side and you have the GPU side, and there always has to be this like fence you're hopping over to bind properties to a shader program. We don't have that here, so I can actually just have the information, and then like we can have each shader take in a void pointer, and like depending on what shader you're using, you just know what arbitrary structure you want to pass into it so you can render things correctly, which is actually kind of cool now that I think about it. Because it gives the freedom for it to do whatever it wants. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is that this has to return like some kind of color information, right? That's the goal here. That's the whole point of this. So if we have to return something. I don't have it in 3 type, do I? I'm gonna need to do that at some point. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to very much do that. I can't do tuples, right? Not that I would want to do tuples, they suck. Yeah, we need to have some kind of structured data for that. Or we can just make something very specific. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If I make it N3, we can make them... You can just cast them in C. That's the beauty of C. And if I need to make a separate file for this to be... Oh my goodness, what's happening with me? Wait, I feel like I'm going crazy. Oh yeah, I was like, my curly brackets didn't feel like brackets. They looked like normal angle brackets. I was going crazy. Or you know what? Yeah, no. You can even include alpha. Oh, what am I doing? R, G. Beautiful. Alright, let me catch up in chat real quick, guys. I've been working on this roguelike match 3 game. It would be cool to make it and see. Probably would be much cleaner. I guess it depends on what your goal is with that match 3 game and presentation. My goal is to be able to have this render be plug and play. So you can I can have the same exact game, but just plug in a different renderer, and you would have instead of ASCII graphics, you have normal graphics that just software rendered, or maybe have it where it can even work with actual GPUs. But I'm not sure the way I'm designing this is going to be very good for leveraging that. I think this is one of those things where it's just, hey, we're going to be locked out of the promised land of hardware acceleration and just be alone on CPU land. But this is a step into making the cozy OS and the cozy console. I've been thinking more and more about it, and I really we have to get a few games out. That's for sure. But after this, there's a few more games I need to finish in Unity, or maybe I don't. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be cool to actually implement games that are going to be for that console. And I want to keep it very simple and lean, so I don't know. You gotta think about it a little bit. I have morning things I gotta wake up for in fewer than 6 hours, but sleep evades me. Have a good night, Kate. Break a leg tomorrow. What's going on with you, Kate? What do you got going on tomorrow? I have to stand up in 5 hours. Oh, a stand-up. Oh, that's rough. And welcome back, Minecraft. Glad to have you here, man. And Cornelius, what's going on here? You better get my royalties of the cozy console. It's gonna be so good, man. You don't even know, man. You don't even know. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about think a little bit more. I'm gonna probably keep it very simple and very lean. I'm gonna look at some different options for simple hardware. Yeah, that's partially why I'm exploring this idea of just purely. There's some things I have to consider. Because I'm thinking about how these things are gonna. We're doing actual architecture right now, which is fun. I like this. I like being in architecture land, but not really. I like actually implementing this stuff, but I have to actually think about how these things are going to communicate with each other. And we have this struct color. We have this fragment, these renderers, that's just an array of function pointers. That's what they are. And at some point, we're going to do some kind of test. We're going to find the hit point. And based off that hit point, we're going to be able to get the object and its, and by extension, its shader. We're going to have its transform information. That's what we're going to be, all this query for these ray tests are going to be, they're going to be based on the transform itself. So there might be a need to have a coupling between the transform and the actual entity itself, or actually a coupling between the transform and the renderer. Oh, that might break. Well, no, a renderer is always bound to a transform, but a transform is not always bound to... Okay, so that's a thing. Ooh, why is it spiking? Why are you unhappy, machine? Are the drivers getting to you, my friend? Have a good time. You have a good one, intellectual user. Hope you have a good one, dude. Yeah, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Dude, this is like super... Like, this is... I love this. The early stages of developing stuff is super fun. Honestly, not even the early stages. It's the ideas I've been having for a while. And now that we can actually have it committed is like super exciting. Do I want to get a diagram? I can't even open a diagram. Firefox is not working. I can't open Aseprite. So we're just kind of stuck here, dude. We're just straight up stuck here. But yeah, that's what I think the process is going to look like here. It's going to be a... there's going to be some kind of like... render... ray test. And then from the ray test, we'll get like the transform. And from the transform, I should be able to get the render ID function, the fragment function, which is going to return a color information for that pixel, and then that's what we're going to render onto the screen. That's what the pipeline is going to look like for us. That's what I have envisioned so far. So, and this render ID is really just going to be an index. However, since we have this whole the fact that this fragment can take like it's taking a void pointer because it might have some information that it needs, and these are just functions, not the actual data required to render stuff. There might be more that's required than just getting the render index. So I guess the thing I need to make distinct here is are we going to have, because I was going to have just this be a list of the programs, but what this actually might be is that there's going to be multiple instances of these programs, and instead we're going to have something called shaders. And this is kind of where I was at with the Cozy engine last time as well. So this is going to contain the actual instances of things to render, and it's going to contain like the actual data. And that's what we need to figure out. Because I wanted to keep things kind of contiguous, but there is data that's pertinent to like a rendering. You should have instances of things that are rendered. That's just what's going to happen. Or we can not do that, and instead we do the transform gets the entity, whatever that entity is, and then we get the render index from there. Or actually we just call like a render function on entity. I don't know, I feel like there's something we can do here to simplify this. Or maybe for our purposes we can I don't know. What's going on here? Oh, finally giving into his coding urges. I know, Syndicate. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I've been desiring to do this for so long. And I've been exercising discipline because I want to get this game done. And the game is going to get done. But you got to live a little, man.
So yeah, this is what we're dealing with, is this concept of an instance of a thing that's going to be rendered. The two options are either we get the stuff from entity, or we just have a separate thing that's just, it's open. The whole purpose of it is to contain the information. The problem is that the information is not going to be compact, and I want it to be like fixed sized. So like, I'm thinking about how I want to work with this. Like, let's imagine, hey, I am me, and I am writing, let's say, a player, right? Oh boy, I'm having a great time writing this player update function, right? Oh boy, I want to have the player change states for some reason, right? So I simply just want to be able to set a sprite, current active sprite. So I would want to be able to do like active sprite equals, and then it's like the name of some texture, which by the way, we're gonna have to have some kind of texture thing as well too. I might do the whole dynamically generated texture thing. I don't know. But we need to have some kind of way of easily defining what sprites to get, because I want to have things cached in memory, and I don't want to have to think about it. So I want it to be something that's programmatically and dynamically just kind of loads all the textures in a folder, and then I guess IntelliSense doesn't matter here. We're not using any IntelliSense. So there's no point in generating this class that's going to contain the name of this stuff. Like, I'm just going to have to remember it. So there's no point in doing the Python. We're not going to have to write code that generates code. We can just do the thing, and that might be just good enough. So I'd have to actually call it by its file name and stuff. It's not the end of the world. My Mr. Forth made an IDE for C and C++ called ForCoder that you might want to check out. The guy's a genius. Yeah, no doubt. Making an IDE sounds really... That's a whole thing, man. Though for me, I don't want to do... If I'm doing this whole C stuff, I actually want to work without IDE. Like, we're just going to use this. We're going to use GCC to compile. And if we need to debug, we use GDB. And maybe like a sanitizer, right? And that's all. We've been doing some pretty decently complex stuff with that. So, I mean, let's see how it grows. But the appeal of this for me right now is the fact that I'm not in an IDE. I don't want to be in an IDE. Like, IDEs feel like a necessary evil. You know? I just want to have a thing that just has a text. No, not like hand sanitizer, Snuffleos. Also good to see you again. No. It's like a memory sanitizer stuff. You know what? Retracted. No, that's not a bad question. Most people don't know what memory sanitization is. It's a legit, like, this is something that only is very prevalent within like C, maybe some manually managed C++ stuff, right? Most languages, most frameworks and libraries try to hide that away from you so you don't have to deal with it. But it's a thing that comes up. Do you have a component system? No, I'm not going to do a component system. I don't want to do a component system. I like having entities just be what they are, an entity. Like, they are what they are. So there's going to be a player struct, and that's all it is. That's all you're going to be. There's no dynamic adding of components or removing of components. It's just, if there is going to be something kind of akin to that, there'd be like struct, maybe, or potentially maybe submodel for things that are going to be very common. But in general, nah.
I remember doing that for like the toy, or not toy, but early version of an engine I did in Rust. And Rust made that way more painful than it needs to be. But even then, I don't. ECS, I can understand the use for general purpose engines. So are we gonna need this? I don't think we even need this. We're gonna have this because we're gonna have, if we're gonna use BMP as our yeah. So this is gonna be just an array of BMPs. we can keep doing the like max render stuff, but this should probably be a dynamically sized thing. But I don't care. We're just gonna do max textures. Max textures, and we're gonna do a BMP pointer. We have to have a way of looking them up, though. And if we're gonna have arbitrary loading, that can cause issues. Unless we don't want to do arbitrary loading. Like maybe, because again with that whole shader thing, right? The idea I like is having some kind of enum and then casting it to an int so we can index directly into an array. That makes more sense. I guess if you ever do like, if I ever do anything with IntelliSense, then that makes things super convenient as well. And the trade-off would be that I just have to like manually add things to be loaded and hard-coded. Which is not honestly the end of the world. I mean, the way we have things set up is very much text-oriented, so I guess it's not that bad. And then we only load things that we explicitly want to have in our application. Or we can just do the general everything in the source folder and then do stuff. Huh. I don't know. For right now, we're just going to do this, and then I think I'm going to do the enum approach and then see how that scales. And if it doesn't scale good, then we're just going to... I'll just do the generalized approach. I just need something good enough to get things running, and then we'll see where the growing pains appear. And how do I do, where is the, I know I've defined enums before, I just don't remember how you didn't see it. I'm assuming it's just a type def. No, it's not a type, it's just straight up an enum, and then, okay, and then, yeah. So for here then, like, oh, it's gonna get very massive very quickly though. It's not gonna be that bad actually. At least for the game I have envisioned, this actually might be just suitably fine. So we're gonna make a default one at some point. And for this as well, we do, I think I might just end up going this route. Or honestly, like, this is where things get weird. I'm thinking about how I want to organize things. For common stuff, I can see that you don't use heap allocations. Yeah, it's kind of fun to not. It's kind of fun to have most of your application fit in the stack. I mean, for the type of games and this type of stuff we do, you don't actually usually have to do that. I kind of like the idea of just having a block of allocation that's just, this is what the thing is. And then instead of using, I mean, you're still going to use pointers and stuff, but like it's nice to be able to just use an index that represents an entity and just be able to get access things that way. It's just way more convenient. And then there's like, of course, like performance stuff for like cache coherency and minimizing cache misses and all that stuff. But I'm not sure how big that's going to be a factor here. Yeah, let's see how far we can go with this actually. So, yeah, the renderer and the shaders though, this is where things get weird for me and how I want to go about doing it. I might just merge them together. So we might have like the instances and then we have the shaders. And the instances will be like something that contains... The instances would be like the program and then the actual data needed for it. But I don't know, dog. I don't know, man. Or actually, these function pointers. Yeah, it's still going to be the same thing. We're still going to be facing the same considerations we have here. So no matter what, we have to have some kind of associate, like transforms going to be bound to something. It's either going to be the render index or the entity. That's like our options here. And if we have a bound to the entity, it's going to be weird because we're going to have discrete and structs for the entity and discrete functions, separate functions for that as well. I guess we can have just a render function for them and keep things simple, but then it kind of breaks the idea that we had of like allowing an entity to arbitrarily create things that can be rendered, like arbitrary number of I guess you can have multiple transforms point to the same entity, but then like each one, you might want to have them be doing something different. And if you have it to go that way, then it's not going to be right. So I think you might actually want to have... Yeah, no, not render index. You still have to have some... You're going to have information set aside for that specifically. Like per draw. So if I really want to have entity be that thing that can arbitrarily create stuff, then... I mean, for this game, let's actually think very contextual to this game. It's going to be a top-down kind of RPG 2D thing, right? So, like, do we need anything fancy? Are we going to do, like, particle effects and stuff like that? Because that's the consideration I have in mind, is the idea of particle effects. So having, like, one entity, like the player, be able to control and set that stuff up. I might have to sleep on this and think about it. What's the basic code rule? How to begin a project? It's different. It's different across languages. It's different across the goal of the project and the type of project. Different projects will necessitate different types of planning and thought process. But if it's for fun, that's the whole thing. Just let your curiosity guide you. Where is this VS Code using now? We're not using VS Code. Is it? No, we're not using OpenGL. We're not using any. We're not using the GPU at all. So there's no graphics API whatsoever. So we're gonna do ASCII rendering for this, but I also want to make it be able to be swapped out, and we can just use like a direct rendering context. So you can use like there's different ways of handling it. There's different ways of going about it. But I want to make it very much swappable, at least for those two options. And maybe in the future I'll have it like a thing that allows you to use an OpenGL or something. Or maybe for convenience it might be better just to use a simple graphics API, just to chuck the already rendered image onto a screen without having to do a direct X11 or X11 implementation and then whatever thing implementation. I don't know. But it's going to be very much separate. Yeah. I'm gonna have to sleep on this. I'm gonna have to sleep on this architecture before I commit to anything. So I think we're gonna be calling stream here, guys. Thank you all for watching. Always appreciate the company that you guys provide, and I don't know why today was so weird with something's weird with my drivers. It just decided to give up for some reason today, but oh well. But anyways, thank you for watching. God bless. And until next time, stay cozy. Bye-bye.